One troop debuffing is finally getting the axe in Rise of Kingdoms. God, it is about time that we get rid of this toxic mechanic. And great news, Egypt is on its way in game. So stick around in this video for a full and obviously very exciting review of these patch notes. Man, I have had too much caffeine. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, over-caffeinated today like crazy, apparently, because my energy level at this moment is through the roof. Check the timestamps in the description if you want to jump to any one part of this video where we review the patch landing next week, baby. Egypt is coming to the game. Now, we don't know exactly what the commanders do yet, but we don't also know what the civilization bonuses are yet, but we do know that Egypt is on its way. Majestic pyramids, endless deserts. Here once stood a glorious civilization and its countless treasures. Now its mighty structures lie corroded by sand, but the treasures of its wisdom have never stopped shining. Here the journey ends, but another begins. A resplendent overture has been composed, waiting your input and sonorous symphony. Honestly, I don't know what's come over me. After updating, you can change your civilization to Egypt at any time to enjoy all new civilization features, Egyptian city themes, and Egyptian units. We don't know what unit type it is, but we can guess. Take part in the Egypt event series for a chance to win amazing rewards. The Alliance quiz, an all-new event, team up with your allies. Oh god, quizzes. Okay. Art through the ages. Take part in our community pages to win marvelous rock merch. Words of eternity. Explore the mysteries of Egypt and seek the true meaning of eternity alongside Gilgamesh in this new storyline. Hey, I'm going to read the whole story, so subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're enjoying this video, it supports the channel tremendously, and it's like straight up free to play to throw a like on the video. Please support the channel if you're enjoying yourself. I appreciate you. Thank you. Esmeralda's treasures. Try your luck to win some of Esmeralda's riches. Look, Esmeralda is code. Every time you see Esmeralda in this game, I want you to remember you're about to get pwned, okay? That's my experience with Esmeralda. If you want to see that in action, you can check out any of my live streams with Esmeralda-related events. In fact, I'm going to put a card up in the top for the very first Esmeralda event in the game. For those of you that haven't seen it, it was insane. It was very different than what we have today. And I'll also have a card up in the top for Esmeralda's Prayer, which is what we're actually about to get. And if you're spending, this was pretty solid. And if you're lucky, this was pretty solid. And hopefully, I mean, we'll see if they've done some rearranging of how the event works, so that if there is a city theme, and I expect there probably will be for this Esmeralda's Prayer, that, I mean, it says, okay, amazing rewards like city themes and decorations. I do hope that everybody can, without luck and without spending, potentially unlock the city theme. I guess we'll see how that goes. And we'll see how important the city theme even is. Arms training. Okay, great. We've done this before. Arms Master Lohar. And the puzzle event is back. And the Zenith of Power. Okay. Zenith of Power to win a brand new city theme. Well, I don't know what city theme it's going to be just yet, but if they are in the business of launching lots of 15% city themes, let me tell you, if they put a 15% health city theme in this game, a lot of people are going to lose their mind, so I hope they don't ever do that. 15% attack is still pretty sus, but they've done it. And I hope that they don't do a 15% health theme. We'll see. Improvements to immigration. Now, this piece always is confusing, and it shouldn't be so confusing, but somehow it is. In order to maintain balance, we've changed some of the rules regarding immigration. Immigration is now divided into two types. Okay, two things I can keep track of, right? Excluding using the beginner's immigration to enter a nation. Okay, so besides the third type of immigration, which is a new player immigration, the beginner's teleport. I've made a ton of guides on how to do that, by the way. I'll have a card up in the top for one of those guides, but more on that to follow in a subsequent video here. Same season immigration, type 1. The concept of same region immigration has been merged with same season immigration. So you're on a continent, if you didn't know that. There's 8 kingdoms in each continent. So I think that's what they meant by same region immigration, now being gone. When the current kingdom and the destination kingdom are in the same seasons, governor may engage in same season immigration. And cross-season immigration, no rules have been changed. When the current kingdom and the destination kingdom are in different seasons, and when the current kingdom's server age is older than the destination kingdom, governors may engage in cross-season immigration. Okay, so if you're going to a younger kingdom, or when you're going to a kingdom that's in a earlier season of KvK, then that qualifies as cross-season immigration, and there were a bunch of restrictions on how many people could do that previously. When engaging in the same season immigration, the following conditions still apply. If the destination kingdom is in the preparation season, to immigrate, a character's original kingdom cannot be more than 10 days older than the destination kingdom. If the destination kingdom is in Lost Kingdom Season 1, to immigrate, a character's current kingdom must be in the same region as the destination kingdom. So you can go to another kingdom in the same continent. I guess they call them regions. Okay. We've also added a counter for how many players have registered to an immigration countdown timer to the kingdom info screen. So now I guess we can see how many people have done this immigration, perhaps, or we've added a counter for how many players have registered and an immigration timer to the kingdom info screen. I don't quite follow this. I think the counter is saying, I would have expected a counter to tell me how many people have done this cross-server, or I guess cross-season immigration that's constrained, so that I would know like how many more people can come in. So I guess we'll have to see what this looks like. This description, I want to know more from this description. I don't know. I need an infographic. Please help me out. A really clean infographic. Lost Kingdom improvements. Desert Conquest improvements. Map changes. Semi-protected camp passes have been added to the map. Interesting. So they're changing Desert Conquest map. Lost Kingdom Chronicle changes. Change the opening time for certain passes and holy sites, and they change the Crusader achievements. This makes sense very much, I think, in the second run of this KvK, where they've already made some changes. It's still, in my estimation, getting tested and balanced. Hopefully this brings it closer to the balance that they're looking for. Adjusted the times that different difficulty levels become available for the Trial of KvK in each story of the Season of Conquest. I think that's really great. Some of the KvK trials are like at the very end, and it's like, do I need this now? KvK's already decided. Like, once Kingsland has happened, it's already over. It's already very over. So you really need Crystal Tech before that point, ideally. You will now receive a notification when you use troop return scrolls during Relentless Warriors. So KvK, I think 1 through 3, you can buy these scrolls that get your troops back. It's a bundle. I kind of wish, and I also don't wish, there was a cheap way to get your troops back in the Season of Conquest, but whatever. So there is that bundle, and now you will get a notification when you're using those scrolls, okay? Improved the content of notification message when Season of Conquest ends, providing a detailed explanation of which Lost Kingdom items will be recycled and what compensation will be given. Okay, so they're just telling you what they're going to take back and what you will get for it. But here is where the actual most important things probably are, besides, I guess, the Egypt update here. You can now see what equipment a primary commander is wearing in the troop dispatch screen and change it directly. I find that perplexing. I don't know what that user interface would look like, but it feels, I mean, I hope they have something slick. Maybe you can just cycle between some presets. In the very least, at least, perhaps we will be able to see if you're wearing any equipment at all when you're about to leave your city, so you can know, hey, I have done something wrong. That would be amazing. When troops are defeated, and this is arguably the single most important thing in this patch note, not by a little, but by a lot, more important than Egypt from a gameplay standpoint, more important than anything else in here. When troops are defeated, continuous buffs and debuffs inflicted that turn will no longer continue to take effect. Welcome to the death of one troop debuffs, baby. It has been needed for so long. I can't believe it took us this long to get here, but finally, we are entering the promised land of no more one troop debuffs. What is a one troop debuff? You literally put one T1 troop in a march with commanders that apply debuffs, and you hit a rally or you hit a garrison over and over and over simply to apply those debuffs. And you may think, how bad could that be? Well, how does 30% all damage taken sound? How does, let's see here, reducing the skill damage by 40% from Cyrus sound? I mean, the debuffs are actually effing insane that you can apply with a one troop. How does making the target take 45% more skill damage sound? The debuffs are out of control. And now what will happen is that the march will attack the target. It will apply a debuff, maybe, but then it will die because it's only one troop. The counterattack damage will kill it. So the game should, theoretically, look at that debuff and say, on this turn, a debuff will be applied, but because the march is dead, no debuff is applied. To say that a little more clearly, the turn you apply a debuff is not the turn they take effect. It is the next set of turns that they take effect. So, in essence, you die on the same turn you apply the debuff to the target, in which case the target looks at that and says, next turn I have this debuff. But now it says, actually, your march is dead, so no debuffs. That's how that works. Hopefully that was a clear explanation. And this is game-changing, because no longer do you need to spend hours sitting there, one troop debuffing passes. I mean, I have played against kingdoms that had like a dozen people sitting there with 6 or 7 marches, one troop debuffing things. And this does not solve still a very important problem, which is that you still can use one troops to reduce the effectiveness of a garrison's AoE or a rally's area of effect damage, but at least we got some of the solution here, and this is a big part of it. So no longer do you have to yell at people that are, teleported right next to a flag that either they need to be doing one troop debuffs or they need to teleport the hell out of there, because if you don't one troop debuff, you lose. Like, there's 2 kinds of kingdoms. I say this a lot for some things. It's an exaggeration, but the kind that uses every edge they can get, including one troop debuffing, and the kind that loses, okay? And, like, you need to use these edges when they exist in the game, and I'm so glad that they have removed this. It's just not fun, and so, thank goodness, it's gone. You will be notified when your city comes under attack during scenario battles, such as Soroli Crisis and Ian battles. Can you imagine getting zeroed during Soroli Crisis? Like, you're minding your own business, you're doing Soroli Crisis, and you just like fully zeroed during an Ian's ballads. GG, bro. Yes, good. That's a good idea. Quest chests obtained after maxing out the Season of Conquest event crystal quest will now be recycled after the Season of Conquest ends. So open those chests, okay? Open those chests. I don't know why they're recycling. I wonder what you get from them. I think maybe it includes crystals. Maybe that's why they're kind of like, oh yeah, we got to recycle this. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, open all those chests. Don't hoard them. Oh, and they improved the performance of the War of the Ruins event. Now, I don't know what's meant by performance here, but I definitely look forward to finding out. Now, in addition, there is a specific Heroic Anthem power-up set of changes. I would know because we're about to fight in this KvK with blockading, which I talked about, cards up in the top where you physically stop somebody's march, with arrow towers. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because I will be streaming this in like an hour or 2 from the time that this video goes live, okay? Since the Heroic Anthem power-up came online, we've discovered a number of issues, and we'll be shortly taking down the servers for maintenance. That has already happened and concluded. Troops and rallied armies will only be able to blockade coalition troops who are not members of your coalition. I thought it already worked that way. So, for those that don't know, a rally can physically stop another rally, and then they fight until there is a victor, and then they keep going. So that is changing. But how? They're making it so you can only blockade coalition troops who are not members of your coalition. I thought it already worked that way. When rallied armies blockade, they will only be able to blockade in peaceful mode and not in aggressive mode. I find this surprising. So what that's saying is that when a rallied army finds another rallied army, you won't physically stop them unless you're in peaceful mode, which means that you can't actually fight them. So are you saying that like a bunch of people can just put up a blockade of passive troops and you have a passive peaceful rally and the rally will hit the troops and then not attack and just stand there and you can physically stop a rally? This is actually, I'm more confused than when I started here. Troops participating in rallies can have their march duration increased by being blockaded or by changing their march route. For this reason, we will be increasing the waiting time for certain rallies. However, once all troops joining a rally have arrived, the rally can set off immediately. I actually am not sure I fully understand what any of these changes actually are. As weird as that sounds, I want to understand, and I'm not sure that I do. I'm not trying to, like, this is not a jab. I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. Like, but I just don't understand what's happening here. So we'll find out today in the live stream when we actually see these things happen. I'm a visual learner. If I don't see it happening, I'm not going to understand it, apparently. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, what does this mean? For this reason, we will be increasing the waiting time for certain rallies. Does this just mean they're showing that the wait time is longer? But we already, like, maybe what was happening is that the wait time wasn't updating to show the fact that it was originally a 1-minute walk, but now the march is blockaded, so it's an infinite walk. The rally's never going to leave. I am not sure. But hey, we'll figure it out today. Throw a like on the video if you enjoyed this. Consider subscribing. I'll be streaming this right here. I'm actually actively scouting it. Well, I was actively scouting this part, but then I recorded this video. You know, now I got to send my scouts out. The fighting's going to happen in these 2 zones, so I got to get these zones fully scouted. I'm almost there, folks. We'll have it by 2 hours from now. GG. Until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom. I'll see you real soon.